It'll work. Yeah, we'll just fill the Woody's Roundup style gap. Maybe just even finish it with a cliffhanger that never gets finished.
Sarah Connor Chronicles of Podcasts.
Cliffhangers.
The very last
No.
episode, we're going to travel 20 years into the future and meet our alternative universe selves, and it'll be like, oh, what's going to happen next? And then nothing.
Nothing, and it just forever happens until we get picked up by another network, maybe.
What happened to the liquid metal lady? What happened to John Henry? What happened to the uncle who died for no reason? We'll never find out.
And then why instead did we get a movie where Matt Smith was the embodiment of Skynet?
Skymet?
Skymet. Yeah. So it's like a tram service, but it just goes through the sky.
A bunch of trains gain sentience and try to extinguish the human race.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no, that'd be a problem. Yeah. Anyway, to get off the train wrecks. This is the Immaterial Gamers podcast.
I thought you said you were getting off the train wrecks.
All right,
Hello.
hold on. Have your tickets ready at the door, and please scream loudly.
And no refunds.
Oh, never any refunds. In fact, why the fuck did you buy a ticket? Anyway, this is episode 21. For anyone who's listening onto this when it comes out, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
And happy holidays if you're a heathen. And don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, but Hanukkah and all that other stuff. Everyone, whatever way you spend the consumer, the consumer massive buy-in that is the holiday season. No, I'm not judging because I've done it myself. Welcome. Even though we are recording this on Christmas Eve.
The eve of Christmas Eve.
Yeah, well, that's a thing according to my Twitter feed.
So wait, what distinguishes the eve of Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve, December 23rd, from the evening of Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve?
Twitter feeds, hashtags. Maybe that's the thing that distinguishes it. You never know.
Could be.
It's again we're having a nice calm podcast. It's just myself, Ryan, and my co-host Duncan.
Yep, the partners in crime, co-ginger podcast hosts of the Immaterial Gamers.
Yeah.
The one who does everything and the one who does almost nothing except talk about stuff that he played for 5 minutes during the week.
So, what we're gonna do? Me and Duncan are gonna go and talk about what we've played, and then because as he may have noticed, I've not put any news in the chat because it's a slow news week. It's Christmas. What do you think?
Everyone took the day off.
Yeah.
Lazy bastards.
What I've got is a Wikipedia page of just big events that happened through 2018. Probably just a quick discussion of stuff like that of what's happened before we then take a little break-ish. And we'll be doing a best of 2018 podcast next week, but we won't be recording it. It'll be special stuff. Anyway, let's move on to...
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Until that point, Duncan, what have you played this week?
Well, I actually started it 2 weeks ago, and I forgot to mention it last podcast, but I recently got a hold of a copy of SoulCalibur VI on Steam on none other than Ryan's recommendation.
Yeah. Well, given the two choices you gave me, I provided, I think, a succinct opinion.
Yeah, I gave him the choice between Fighter Z, whatever it's called, from the Dragon Ball franchise, and SoulCalibur VI, and I asked what he thought I should get. I could only afford one, because I'm just a poor boy, and so I could only get one copy.
Oh, yeah, so we can only get Bohemian... If we can get Bohemian Rhapsody as many times into this podcast as possible, that'd be great. But, so you went with SoulCalibur VI.
Yeah, I ended up going SoulCalibur VI. It feels very familiar from
Yeah.
past SoulCaliburs. I gotta admit, the last SoulCalibur I probably played was 2.
Ah, yes, the one with, depending on what console you bought it on, Link or Spawn or Heihachi as a
Yeah,
character.
and yeah, so that was a long time ago, but it was all still pretty familiar. Most of the same characters are there. A lot of similar mechanics.
Hmm.
I've been having fun with it so far. I blitzed through the main storyline. I literally just like skipped every cutscene, every line of dialogue. I was like, I don't care. Your plot is bad and your voice acting is mediocre. Let me just get to the fights, please, and thank you.
Okay.
So that's my minute review of the plot of SoulCalibur.
It's well, I mean, to be fair, as I think I mentioned to you in the WhatsApp when we were talking about it, it is basically a soft reboot of the entire history of Soul Blade, Edge, and Soul Calibur put into one game.
It feels to me like the story of SoulCalibur is pretty much the same in every game. Like
Hmm.
not even like movie sequels same like they're doing a different story, but it's actually the same story disguised as a different story. But like
Yeah.
I feel like every time I play this game, it's like it's fucking Nightmare has the soul edge and it's possessed him. It's gonna destroy the world, and then some other nice people, example Sofitia and Killick, decide they want to go and destroy the sword, while some other random people are like, just hanging out, doing whatever. They may or may or not be pursuing the sword directly. Maybe they want it for evil purposes. Maybe they just want it because they want to hang it up in their mantle place. Whatever. They're also there. And then Inferno pops out of the sword and goes like, "Blarg, I'm a fire monster," and then he dies.
Blarg.
And then that's like the story in every Soul Calibur game. I swear, it never changes.
Yeah, you get some histories like Zazamel, giant black scythe dude, you know, and initially starts as an observer of Soul Edge and then just decides to get bored with life.
I literally thought you were gonna say get jiggy with it. I'm like, hold on a
No,
second.
no, 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 no. That's the Aladdin film.
Uh,
He's getting genie with it.
Getting genie with it. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, Will Smith is the genie in the new Aladdin film coming out. What did we do to deserve that?
We tricked ourselves into thinking that Will Smith was actually like the hot shit.
Yeah,
turns
well,
out we were all like taken in by his charm, and we forgot to recognize the fact that he's just doing the same thing in every movie.
That being said, Bad Boys for Life,
I've never seen Bad Boys.
Oh, they're films, but Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, that's fine. Forget the fact that Michael Bay's directing them, and then you're all sorted.
I see.
But anyway,
back to Soul Calibur.
Yeah,
So interesting casting choice. They decided to make Nightmare voiced by Will Smith. I thought that was a really weird choice.
just picturing him there, just like, hey, look, it's the devil. No, you're Nightmare. Cut. Beelzebub. No.
Killick's like, I must have Soul Edge. I will destroy it. And Nightmare's like, nah, man. Don't start now. Won't be none.
Now this is a story all about how this world got flipped and upside down by that evil seed I casted. Just watch there.
I'll tell you how I became the undisputed ruler of evil.
Watch your hair.
Possessed by Nightmare.
Yes! Okay, so we've just fresh princed our podcast there. So, yeah. But yeah, like, you're saying the combat was very familiar. Have you sort of got into some of the new stuff that they've added in there yet then?
I don't even think I've quite gotten myself into the old stuff they have in there yet. My biggest weakness with fighting games is that while I enjoy playing them, I have never actually taken the time to try and actually get good at them. I'm one of those people who's just like, it feels like sometimes when I push these buttons in a certain order, sometimes cool things happen. So I'm going to try and push them in that order again to see if it happens again. And it usually doesn't because I didn't push them right. Or I didn't actually push the right buttons in the right order.
Mm.
I really really wanted to like start studying on it and like actually learn how to utilize the game's mechanics and actually get good at the game, but I I at one point I looked up like a video. I was trying to play Maxi
Mm.
because I was like, I played a few games with Maxi, and he seems pretty cool. I have everything seems nice and fast and flowy, and I could see myself trying to get into this guy. So I looked up a video of like, how do good players of Soul Calibur play Maxi? What are his mechanics? How do I Maxi?
Mm.
And I'm like, it was like a 13-minute video, and it immediately starts off by explaining how Maxi has different stances and how his stances lead into different combo opportunities, and and he starts using like really complicated like key terms for his moves and combos, and I'm just like, oh, I've made a terrible mistake. It's like, oh, so I've chosen the most complicated character to play as my main. It's like, maybe I'll save this for another time.
Yeah, he's so if we look at comparing sort of Namco fighting games for Tekken, he's the Hwoarang of the characters in there. That's what he feels.
I don't even know what game that's from, let alone who that character is.
Hwoarang is from Tekken, and he's a.
You did just say that. I'm retarded. Cut that out.
Yeah, no. That's fine. Yeah, but he had the similar sort of stuff in the fact that he could switch. His like martial arts style allowed him to switch from doing his moves from one leg to the other. So you could do a set of moves, jump onto the other leg, and then continue. And it just allowed chaining moves that way. Maxi's the same sort of thing. The fact that if you can just keep his nunchucks spinning, you can just move from one set to the other as well. Though I've always, I like Killig, Maxi. I was gonna say I like Maxi, but I'm a Killig man. Just not he's not the most damaging of characters, but he's fast, he's flowy.
I have always traditionally favored fast characters in almost every, not just every fighting game, but every genre of game that I play. It's like any game, fucking foul phones. Thank God my phone died immediately. Anyway, as I was saying, don't forget to do the slow down of that, just to highlight the technical difficulties. But I've always favored really fast moving characters, as it's just been my style. So Maxi naturally appealed to me, But for some reason, Soul Calibur has always ran somewhat contradictory to that for me. I don't know why. I really like the slower characters in Soul Calibur. There's just something really satisfying about, the slow but heavy hitting attacks that some of characters like Nightmare and Astaroth can pull off at times.
Yeah. You know who I miss from the Soul Calibur games? Rock. He was like a North American First Nations sort of character. Was one with the spirits, and he had his big axe and stuff. I feel he's been sort of replaced by the Astaroth sort of character now, mainly just. And I'm wondering if it's because they've decided to locate most of the combat in sort of Eastern Europe to Asia, whereas sort of Soul Edge was a big round the world thing. So it's just like it just means I miss the North American characters. That's just me.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, Yoda, Starkiller / The Apprentice.
Exactly. What country do you think he's from? Is he like Brazil maybe?
Possibly. It's hard. I mean, we've even got it in. We've got it in the in Soul Calibur 6. You've got Geralt, guy from The Witcher. It's like, whose bio on that game is literally a sorcerer sent him to another universe, and that's why he's here. And you know what?
If I was a sorcerer, I would send people to alternate universes all the time. Just for fun.
Yeah. Hey, look, Steve. Piranha universe for you. Oh, where'd Steve go? Oh, he's gone.
He had to pop out for a second.
Yeah. So and have you tried both of the story modes ish?
Um,
Like the custom character creation mode, which I still think is actually probably the better mode of the two.
I have not created my own custom character yet. I've only put the default characters.
Fair enough. You too will be able to get your own shapeshifter who, when you colour in blue, looks to, and I quote my flatmate Martin here, a gimp.
The gimp.
Yeah.
Isn't that just Waldo?
I would say so, but, since my shapeshifter tries to speak in an alien language, but he's blue and shiny and doesn't quite look like Inferno, so it's just like... I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But, he's a good guy. He's trying to save the world.
Anyway, so that was actually interesting, you talking about Inferno. That was an interesting... I don't know if this has been in previous games, but this is my first game that I've played where Inferno was a playable character, like right from the beginning anyway.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was kind of cool. I actually found Inferno to be one of my more enjoyable characters. I found him to be a weird combination between, like, the hard-hitting, slow attackers like Nightmare, but also, like, faster somehow.
Yeah. See, I've not played Inferno in SoulCalibur VI, because I played him when you could unlock him in SoulCalibur 2. Is he... Alright, so Edgemaster, the old guy who could basically use any character's style. It changes on a round-by-round basis. If I remember right with SoulCalibur 2, Inferno was kind of the same, it just had a few extra, like, flaming
Inferno
moves.
Used to be like that, yes. In previous games, he used to, like, be essentially like... It's almost like the random character. It's just like...
Yeah.
If you wanted to pick random, but you wanted to be random every round, you'd play Inferno.
Yeah,
but in this
Inferno or Edgemaster, either way.
Yeah, but in this particular case, he's essentially... He permanently wields a soul edge, like somehow at the same time as Nightmare. I don't know how it works. But he has his own, like, distinct fighting style. He's consistent. He doesn't just change flippantly. He has his own fighting style, which is very... I imagine that he's really good when you, like, properly learn how to use his abilities, because some of his abilities are, like, kind of ridiculous. Like, there's one ability that he does where he can, like, fly up into the... There's a mechanic where he can, like, fly up into the air. Like, that itself is an ability, is to just hover above the ground. And then from there, he can do various things. He's got one attack that's basically like the horizontal pinwheel, where he just starts spinning sideways with Soul Edge, and it's slow, but if it hits, it does an ungodly amount of damage. And he does a few other things, good, downward slashing attacks and various things like that. So yeah, the second time I played as Inferno, I randomly got matched up against a Maxi AI, and I just perfected him 3 games in a row. I laughed out loud and threw my controller at my pad. It's like, I don't even know what I'm doing, and I'm having so much fun. This character is ridiculous. I don't know, man. He feels like the new Noob Crutch to me. I don't even know how competitive he is, because I don't know anything about that scene. But he sure is fun to just push buttons and see what happens.
Oh, I have to try and play him at some point, because he sounds absolutely awesome. Maybe I'll stop playing with my mercenary gimp. Don't tell.
Mercenary gimp.
Yeah, don't tell.
Stop. I'll stop playing with my mercenary gimp. Put that on a t-shirt.
Jesus Christ! No, it's good. It's good that you're enjoying it, just playing as the characters and stuff like that. And we'll maybe look at more adventures of your experiences at some point.
Maybe I'll actually learn how to play the game, or maybe not. Maybe I just won't have time. We'll see what's up.
Maybe just have fun with it. Yeah, it just works. So speaking of fun, I've been playing the new Hitman game.
Oh dear.
Hitman 2, not to be confused with Hitman 2.
Don't you love video games?
Oh yeah, naming conventions is great.
It's like they think that everyone who played video games 10 years ago is dead, and that everyone who is currently playing has never heard of the franchises that currently exist. So they just, like, pass it off like nothing happened. It's
Yeah,
like, the
no,
new
nothing.
Hitman.
Yeah, so Hitman 2 2018. There we go, we'll do that.
There you go.
Yeah, the game by the now independent IO Interactive, though still published by Warner Brothers. Don't
Heyo.
ask. Yeah, it's a direct continuation from Hitman 1 2016. No, they actually called that one Hitman 2016 at that point. Yeah, the reboot of the franchise that did a smaller amount of content in terms of smaller amount of missions, but over a much bigger scale. So yeah, it's just it's a continuation of the story. So it's season 2. You've now found out who the big bad guys are, and yet there is an even bigger bad guy.
Isn't that just the way of bad guys? Every time you get through to the bad guy, there's always a bigger bad guy behind the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, this is sort of different. There's kind of like two big bad guys going separately at the same time, and you have to do the old classic, the enemy of my enemy.
Is also my enemy. I just need to make a pact.
Yeah.
I'll get
basically.
to you eventually.
Yeah. So, yeah, the spoiler alert alarm will be on. So you killed a whole bunch of people.
Spoilers?
And it turned out
In a game called Hitman, you killed a bunch of people? What?
I know. Now, they were all linked together, that they were all part of this. They were all targets from a shadow client, who turns out to be the big evil character, Lucas Gray. Because he's trying to take down this Illuminati-style corporation called Providence, who you've also been working against and killing some of their targets as well. You and your handler, Diana, as Agent 47, decide, well, we'll work with the big corporate bastards because the one lone wolf guy is the bigger problem. So you're doing what you do in a Hitman game, getting targets and eliminating them in as close to accidental ways as possible without being noticed, in the old classic Hitman fashion. So walking around, subduing people, disguising yourself as different people, even though it doesn't matter what disguise you get, you're still bald and you still have a barcode on the back of your head. Suspend your disbelief.
I like that one mission I've seen videos of where you disguise yourself as the Indian tailor, and that's your disguise. It's like, oh yeah, no one will suspect you at all.
Yeah,
just some white dude in a turban.
Yeah, well, we've got this. The second mission of the game is in Colombia, and again, there's going to be spoilers into how you assassinate one of the targets, or two of the targets in this case. There is one where you dress as a hippie. Apparently, one of the targets has had the ability to transport cocaine across the world using backpackers and souvenirs, undetectable apparently. Again, suspend your disbelief. It's a Hitman game. But yeah, you subdue said hippie. You poison the souvenir that it contains, because the guy's a big druggie. He has to taste test everything. And you meet him in a location dressed as a stoner hippie. They know that the guy is. They know that the guy had long hair and a beard. They're a bit unsure why this clean-shaven bald man, has arrived, but he's wearing the hippie clothes. It must be him. And you do it. He gets sick. He leans over a barrier down a mine shaft. Oh, guess where he's going?
Space.
Well.
There's actually an enormous, sonic spring at the bottom of that shaft, and it's just like boing to the moon.
I wonder what was happening. I threw him over. He was like, no, boing. I was like, what the? He told me body hidden, but he just got sent to space.
They'll never find it.
Yeah, and another of the ridiculous disguises was as a as a mariachi band. You were the drummer of a mariachi band. While you're there drumming while you've sabotaged a giant golden statue of a cartel leader. So he pulls the curtain of the statue down. It's like, oh yeah, look, there's oh my god, and you're there, still giving the drum roll to the reveal. It's just
it's
great.
just like you got drumsticks, and they're all like, and now for the grand finale, shank, and then it's actually just stabs him with one of the drumsticks.
Yeah, well, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It's the same as Hitman 2016, but
It sure seems like it from videos I've seen. It basically just looks like it almost looks like DLC for the previous game.
Yeah, I guess that's why they've done what they've done in it. Where if you purchase Hitman 2 and you already had Hitman 1, you get the entirety of the first game just added on. They were aware that this was technically like advertised as a season 2 to the game, but they've not done it as episodic like they did in the first game. So, but they're giving you this massive load of content, and it's still it's still the same. But same isn't problematic. The thing that I had
if same was problematic, the Call of Duty franchise would have died a decade ago.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But the content of the game was fine, and what little stuff that they have added, like concealable briefcase, so you can take big weapons to some of the locations, because that was a problem. Even though like it's in Agent 47's profile that he doesn't sit there and use big massive weaponry every now and again. He uses it when he needs to. If it's the last resort, he's known as he's the clean he's the clean assassin. And the fact that he doesn't want if someone is going to die, you need to make it look like an accident. And guy tripped off balcony doesn't work when he's got a 45 caliber bullet hole in his head. So I'm still liking it. They've changed the way that opportunities work now, rather than the stuff that you had to seek out and then hope that you got in time. They're there from the offset. Some of them still can be time limited, but you can choose to follow any of the what they call now mission stories, and do the opportunities to get to your targets and kill them, or you can still do what you do in any Hitman game, which is just improvise, look at the target, look at the best opportunity, and then just take them out.
Listening to you talk about all the strategy involved in a Hitman and how you're supposed to make it look as close to an accident as possible, all I'm thinking about is the Achievement Hunter gang doing Let's Watches in that game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, it's just like the Achievement Hunter way, man. They don't even care about whether it's an accident or not. It's just like the Achievement Hunter way is kill 30 people, change disguises 6 times, gun down half of the local militia by yourself, then kill the target, then maybe leave before you get killed by a security guard.
Yeah, there's that. That also being said, I've watched and also done their Let's Watches when they've tried taking on elusive targets, and they're back as well. These targets where the moment you take the opportunity, you have one shot to take the guy out.
One opportunity.
One opportunity. You better lose yourself.
Mom spaghetti.
You know it, you want it. Yep. Now, they still got them. For anyone who doesn't know, the elusive target is a one-time opportunity to take one target down. If you fail, you can't restart the mission. You can't save. You have to do it in one go. If you die, the target goes. If you run out of time before you take the target down, which is days, target goes. It's that simple. So you get that one chance to take him down, and usually at that point it requires you to have mastered the level that the target's in. So you can then know the best place to find them, and the best way around that you can do this in one go. Elusive targets have always been funny in Hitman games. One of the first elusive targets was a guy called the Forger. All you knew about him was that he forged paintings. No name, age, race, height, build, nothing.
I see.
That's one of them. Some of them have been a bit more ridiculous, like the Holiday Hoarders special event where you had to kill Harry and Marv from Home Alone.
Well, there's also the elusive target for killing Gary Busey.
Yes, yes. Not just. It wasn't just a guy played by Gary Busey. The target was Gary Busey.
It's like, I'm invisible.
Yeah. Or the one that I just missed because I didn't get the game in time. The Undying, played by Sean Bean.
Yeah, I like that. I love how like tongue in cheek it is too. I was watching the Achievement Hunter video of it, and I love how like if you play the opportunity right and you get into the meeting room with Sean Bean, he like sits down right in front of you. It's like, you there. Let's say you were sent here to kill me. How would you go about it? And they're just sitting there like, does he know?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because like the introduction video for Sean Bean's character, Mark Alber, I think he's called in it. Yeah, he's sitting there looking like he's having a psych session with what looks to be Agent 47, talking about how he can turn anything into a weapon, sort of advertising the Hitman game, and then proceeds to shoot said therapist in the head. And, sits there and challenges like, okay, I hope you probably bring your A game next time. And no, there's Agent 47 just stood on a monitor thinking, right, yeah, I am so going to kill you. But yeah, like some of the background stories for the targets are actually quite cool. Like talking about the Undying as an elusive target, it's a guy that has apparently been confirmed dead by the agency in that game 12 times.
That's a lot of times.
Yeah, which in the briefing, Diana goes, and because it's funny because I can still get the briefing, but I can't take the target out anymore. But it's just like, oh, Agent 47, this one's actually quite a bit of an embarrassment for us. Could you please sort this out? Thank you, bye. But then it also makes me think of, like, if you know that this guy has a reputation of not dying, why did you not send 47 out in the first place?
Who knows?
Yeah, but still, yeah, having fun with it. I might take on the next one, which is a paranoid military general in India. That's gonna be fun. I'm actually on the India level on the main story now, so I might just work on some mastery so I can give that one a shot. Yeah, it's Hitman. You still get to kill people. It's all fun, and it did lead to the funniest thing in the house of something that my flatmates would never thought I would have ever said, and it led to the lines of, right, sorry, one sec, we will go out shopping. I've just got to shove the body of this hippie in a cupboard. So, yeah, that's all good.
So it's a good game when you're shoving hippies into cupboards.
Yeah, it's all great. He was fine. He wasn't dead. Even if in some of the games it's weird that if you do knock someone out and they're just on the floor and you've not, hidden them away and someone spots them, watching someone run over to a guy and go, "Oh my God, we found a body. Yes, he's definitely dead."
And then he walks over, slaps him in the face. It's like, oh wait, no, he's okay actually.
Yeah.
Maybe. So what you haven't found is a body. Then you found a guy who was sleeping.
Yeah, you found an unconscious person. It's just, sometimes it's silly.
You walk into your friend's room while they're sleeping. And it's like, oh my God, I found a body.
Yeah.
I've got a body here. And then 20 minutes later, you go and check him up on him, and it's just like, oh wait, he's just
yeah. I do like that as well. It does say in the game as well that what's it called? Any bodies that you hide in containers or cupboards will never be found. That does lead to a little bit, but it also led to the fact that I nearly accidentally killed someone, a non-target. There was a military general or something that I needed to subdue and disguise myself as, and I put him in. He was in a sort of bushes, like a trespassing area in between, and there was what I thought was just a container to shove him in. And as I was about to dump him in, I noticed that there was this little, a pokey bit of metal coming out, and a mulch symbol on the front of the box. And I was like, oh, wait, nope, can't put him in there. That'll kill him. Because I nearly put a guy in a shredder.
Oh, God.
So that was fun. I made that mistake in the first game. I was one of the missions has you trying to destroy a virus, and to destroy the virus you have to sort of cause the room to melt down. But there's a whole bunch of guys in hazmat suits around watching everything you're doing, so it's a bit hard. So I subdued a guy, and I just saw that there was a box there, and I was like, "Oh right, cool, I'll just shove him in the box." Now I shove him in, and what do I hear? Bloops. Target killed. I was like, or non-target killed. I was like, what do you mean non-target killed? I'll look at the box again and find out it's only a fucking acid box.
goddamn random acid boxes just laying about.
Yeah. So, but still,
Breaking Bad, that guy.
yeah, basically. But yeah, that was my experience with Hitman, and may the assassinations continue in the game. In the game.
Remember, don't kill
Right.
yourselves. Don't kill
Yeah,
each other.
everybody, please don't kill each other. I know I usually wait till the end of the episode to do that, but just continue that. So yeah, that's the games we've been playing, and we would normally look at news, but like I say, because it's a slow news week. I mean, it's fair. It's Christmas. What we do is we just have a look at some of the major events that came out in the year of our Lord, 2018, and then maybe see if there's anything big that we could discuss in it. I mean, according to this, apparently, considering there's some major events, there's not much here other than some studios opening, some studios closing, and some
Studio
big
open,
game
studio
releases.
close.
Yeah,
You can't
but
explain that.
yeah, we'll have a look, just so you can see what I can see when I'm cleaning
Do
windows.
you see what I see?
Oh no! Christmas songs, they can all go. So yeah, I like this. That among I don't want to paraphrase. I want to paraphrase what's being said in this. Biggest games of the year included Black Ops 4, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So basically, the biggest, highest selling games all happened in the last quarter of 2018, as they always do. But we'll do is have a look at apparently some major developments over the year. So January. I mean, the Consumer Electronics Show being held somewhere every year isn't really major. Oh yeah, Mad Catz come back from the grave. All they were like a peripheral maker. They made like weird third party game pads and massive stuff, and then they like lost money and went out of business. At the beginning of the year, they came back.
Very nice.
So that was fun. The inaugural season of the Overwatch League began. So that was a good bit of esports for Blizzard compared to what will happen later on in the year.
Yeah.
You know,
That's unfortunate.
yeah, some games come out as well, like Monster Hunter World, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, Celeste, Subnautica, re-releases of Kerbal Space Program, Street Fighter V, Darkest Dungeon. Yeah, they all happened. I mean, we've already talked about my fun with Darkest Dungeon a couple of episodes back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fun. February, again, look, a DICE Summit was held in Las Vegas. Right, congratulations. The bigger one on that is THQ Nordic acquiring Koch Media.
Good old Cock Media.
Yeah,
Not spelled the way you think it is.
No, KOCH. Everyone, you dirty bastards. No, that one's actually a big thing. THQ going out of business a few years back was, it was a shame. There was some good games, good, stuff like the Saints Row series, Darksiders, all, studios under THQ having to go and be rebought, but then, Nordic buying the THQ license, and they've actually, been bringing out good games, which is actually, very nice for a change. It's nice to see a publisher not being like an entirely massive arsehole. And then anything big come out in February? Oh, the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, Night in the Woods, other good games and other not so good ones like Dynasty Warriors 9. I hate what's been done to the Dynasty Warriors franchise. I loved them games. They were derpy, the voice acting was hammy, characters were silly, but, there was nothing better than killing a few 100,000 random enemies with no names. Because you could. It got rid of anger.
I never did play any of the Dynasty Warrior games. I've seen some of them in action, but I've never actually played them.
Yeah. But no, they're good to do sometimes. But not 9. Never 9. That caused my PlayStation to take off for the 4th time. That's a story for a different podcast, though. March. Vivendi formally ended its attempt to acquire Ubisoft. Probably a good idea. Probably for the best. Though Vivendi, didn't they also own Blizzard and Activision at some point as well.
Are they?
Maybe. They sold it to other companies, including Tencent, the company that contains that basically hold a share in everything.
Vivendi announced to merge with Activision. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So at some point they were together, and then they weren't.
Yeah, again, probably for the best. Things that came out in March. Let's see.
Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition.
Yeah, Warhammer Vermintide 2 apparently. Devil May Cry HD Collection again. Kirby games. The remaster of Burnout Paradise. Oh, Detective Pikachu came out that month, which was funny. And oh yeah, Valkyria Chronicles 4, the game that I didn't even realise had come out. The one that I didn't realise even had a second and third. But yeah, that was March. And that's old news. April, PAX East happened. And in other news, Valve acquired the developers of Firewatch, Campo Santo, and did nothing with them again. And big games that came out in that month were Hellblade, Svenja's Sacrifice. Still the game that messes with my head, and I've not even completed it yet. Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. South Park, The Fractured Butthole finally came out on that month for Nintendo Switch. And a game that was called Saturday Morning RPG. Oh, Labo came out as well that month. The weird cardboard make your own
Nintendo's
games thing.
Cardboard peripheral venture.
Yeah, I mean, they sounded interesting, but they were also very, very expensive. But, it's Nintendo, again, just wanting to make charming stuff and not worrying about, Game of the Years. It works. Okay.
Good old Nintendo labia.
Aye. May was a bad month. As Cliffy B's studio Boss Key Productions closed down, and he's basically now out of games making. He's not happy with it anymore. Constant opening, constant closing. Maybe, background information on what was going on inside his studios didn't help, but a lot of that's hearsay and to and fro in, and nothing was ever confirmed. But then a couple of other studios opened up a couple of other developers opened up new studios. One in Brighton, in England, which is fun, and another in Poland. June, Microsoft went and opened its big gaping maw and acquired a bunch of studios, including Ninja Theory, which is a shame because I liked Svenja's Sacrifice, and I don't think Microsoft will let them build good games. But that's just my opinion. More Warhammer stuff came out. Oh God, come on! There was other games that came out in June, surely. Oh yeah, the remake of the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. That kept me preoccupied for a month.
Oh yeah, the Crash Bandicoots. What was that, June?
Yeah, it was June. The Insane trilogy came out in June.
Oh, hey, you know what else? I got Fortnite came out on Nintendo Switch in June.
Oh yeah, Fortnite and its massive free-to-play tendrils. Sometimes stuff's good for the games industry, sometimes it isn't. But I guess if people are playing a game, they're playing games. July, nothing much happened. Electronic Arts announced its acquisition of Industrial Toys. Oh, a mobile company. Of course it did.
Well, one thing worth noting about June 2018, E3, no Sony.
Yeah. And the continuation of no Sony, we reckon. I believe that was in a podcast a few weeks back, wasn't it?
Yep.
And games that came out in July, let's see. Remastered editions of stuff.
Oh my God, Hotel Transylvania 3 Monsters Overboard came out for Windows, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Oh.
I can't believe I missed that one.
No, I know. But for other games, Octopath Traveler, I heard, is a good RPG. That came out on the Switch. Sonic Mania Plus. Hello Neighbor finally went gold and was unfortunately disappointing. The idea of breaking into a guy's house and him learning from your mistakes, sounded very good, but the execution just didn't quite get there. But live and learn.
And you know the edge of tomorrow.
Aye, indeed. August. Immaterial Gamers podcasts carried on going during that point, or they kind of started during that point.
Very noteworthy. I'm surprised it's not on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, I know. I think we need to get that edited on there, to be honest. The international, the Dota 2 tournaments thing, had the largest prize pool in esports history.
Held at the Rogers Arena in Canada. Go Canada! I know where that is.
Wow. It's in Vancouver.
Sorry. Is it in Vancouver? I don't know where that is. I lied.
I
thought that was in Toronto.
No.
Leave it to every other city in Canada to be more exciting than Toronto.
You're the capital, aren't you?
Well, Toronto is not the capital. It is the largest city.
It
is the business center of Canada. That is why it is the biggest. It has the most jobs and makes the most money. But if you want to do actually fun things, you'll have to go to Vancouver or Montreal, generally speaking.
Fair enough. Oh, and yeah, this was also the year where a mass shooting occurred at the Madden NFL 19 tournament.
Not in Canada.
Not in Canada, no. No, that was in Florida again, was it? Yeah.
Jacksonville, Florida.
That was the one. And and that month we had the Windows release of Yakuza 0, and everyone should play Yakuza's. According
Did you just pluralize Yakuza?
No, well, Yakuza games. Yeah, okay, we'll do that.
Everyone should play the Yakuzas.
Yeah, the Yakuzas. That'd be nice. I mean, if we can get more, that'd be brilliant. Just all the Yakuza games.
You got Overcooked 2 in August.
Yeah. Oh no, World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth came out.
Oh yeah, I do recall you folks talking that up on the podcast.
Yeah. It came out and they've added their biggest patch recently, or their new next patch.
The Walking Dead, the final season.
Oh, started beginning
of the end.
Yeah. Well, until it got picked up by Skybound.
Ominous foreshadowing of things to come.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of, let's have a look at what else we got. What else did we have? Let's see. September, here we are. Wargaming opened a studio in the UK, so World of Tanks got a UK studio. Capcom Vancouver shut down. Along with Telltale Games.
You were doing so good last month.
Yeah, they were doing so well, but then they shut down, and so did Telltale Games, pretty much.
Sad.
Yeah, and then games that came out in September though was
Spooderman.
Yes, Spooderman. Marvel's Insomniac's Man.
Marvel's Insomniac's Man.
Yeah. This is the Police 2.
The sequel.
Yeah. Pathfinder Kingmaker came out as well, which I really do need to get back and carry on playing. I kind of got to a point where I was going to take on a big bad dude and didn't. October. Apparently nothing happened. According to the major events list. Yeah, nothing happened.
I was born in October, and that was exciting.
Yeah, I would have been a month older in October, but that was in October 31 years ago. But still, stuff that came out during October though. The World Ends With You Final Remix.
Yo.
Toys for Bob and Ubisoft went and did. Oops, sorry, go on.
Never actually followed up on that. I finished that game. World Ends With You.
Oh, good.
Me and my sister did it. My sister ended up being the one who was. We took turns playing the main character. While we played it, every time we played a session, and she happened to be in the hot seat during the final confrontation, which, if you recall from the original game, is a single player deal. There's no partner interaction in that fight. So she was by herself for the very final fight, which is by far exponentially more difficult than any other fight in the game.
Yeah, because there's usually that bit where the second person can, the second character would help out, but nope, not there.
Yep, I'm stuck on a ball, and it's all you. But she did it. She beat it on hard mode all by herself. I'm
Good,
very happy
good.
with her.
Yeah.
We had a ton of fun playing through that game together.
That you see, that's good. Sitting down, playing with friends and family, it's good. Playing
Yeah,
against friends and family is also good sometimes, but
it can sometimes be a bit sorry, but yeah,
yeah.
it was there was I still think that it was not my favorite version of the game that has existed. I consider it
Mm,
superior to the DS version. The co-op experience is honestly just too much fun. It really does add to it a
yeah.
lot. But the motion controls are still a little bit wonky. Certain inputs just are not natural when it
Mm,
comes to controls with motion controls. And the fact that the cursor is constantly going off center and that you have to reset every so often is just it can be a little bit frustrating. I consider the phone mobile version to be the definitive version of the game, in my opinion. I feel it is the
yeah.
most balanced and most solid mechanically.
What's that one? They call that solo remix, don't they?
Solo remix, yes.
Yeah.
Ironic that a game all about like trusting your partner and expanding your horizons and connecting with others is the best version of that game is the one where you play entirely by yourself and do not really have a partner.
But it works, I guess, in its own way. There was other stuff that what else came out in that
Soul
month?
Calibur 6.
Oh yeah, that little game, SoulCalibur VI. The independent game. It
Small
was
indie
absolutely
company.
great. Yeah. And Deltarune, the project from the one developer behind Undertale. It's an anagram. But yeah, that came out. I really do need to play Undertale, really, to be honest.
Well, speaking of small indie companies, Red Dead Redemption 2, October release.
Oh, of course it did. Yeah, I remember. God, the last half of the year went pretty damn quick. This is all just like flying in my head as one. November 2018, BlizzCon happened. Oh, don't we know it? Oh, wow. And
Diablo
the
mobile game.
yeah, Diablo Immortal may not even, you know, well, he will come out, but you damn well know there's going to be problems. But yeah. Also things that happened that year. We lost the gaming guide creator Prima Games. No more big giant book-based reviews on or like book-based strategy guides on how to complete games because the internet's got you covered. It's just as it is. And the problem with some of the I have to say the problem with some of the Prima Game strategy guides was by the time the game went gold, a lot of the stuff in the guides was redundant. But they had a good nearly 30 years. That'll do them. And November's games, The Quiet Man. We don't talk about that game. Hitman 2, little known stealth game.
Feel familiar with this. It's
Uh,
almost like we've talked about it before.
yeah, I don't know where it came from.
Fallout
Tetris
70.
Effect.
Tetris Effect, there you go. I was going to say Fallout 76, but that's also
Oh,
there.
well, yeah, that also came out, didn't it? Yeah.
Is anyone playing that game? I haven't played that game.
I've not played that game,
I kind of did.
honestly.
After everything that came out about it and everyone's problems with it, I was like, I'm not touching the game. I don't feel like I should be anywhere
I,
near
I,
this.
I'll be honest, I had cautious optimism about it, and then the more that came out about it, that optimism just faded. It just went, which is a shame. Oh, a little known franchise got two games on the Nintendo Switch. What's that called? Pokemon?
Oh yeah, let's
Yeah,
go
yeah,
Pikachu and let's go Eevee.
yeah. Probably the biggest renaissance in Pokemon gaming that's happened for years, to be honest. And you know what? If it gets people playing it with the weird, creepy, cute creatures, then sure, go ahead. Oh yeah, Darksiders 3 came out to massive indifference.
Persona
Yeah.
Q2. My sister's actually went out and grabbed that. She's actually was pretty hyped about that.
Ah. Oh, Q was sort of just
Yes.
um, mixed people from Persona games into one big dungeon crawler, wasn't
Yep. That's the whole one. She's been playing it a lot.
it? Oh, see, between that and actually waiting for the sort of the dancing all night games, which apparently I've heard are quite fun. It's like, oh, you want a rhythm game set in the Persona universes? Off you go.
Yep. 3, 4, Persona 3, 4, and 5 dancing game. All released PS4 in December.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah. December, like we say. Also, there nothing happened apart from what we already talked about a couple of weeks back about Blizzard shutting down Heroes of the Storm competitions. You know.
RIP.
Yeah. Rip. But yeah, Just Cause 4, the Persona game, the Persona Dancey games. Path of Exile is on the PS4. Why do I not know that Path of Exile is on the PS4? Fair enough.
Katamari Damacy. That's actually another game my sister played.
Oh, Katamari. You see, I've never played them, but they look so charming and absolutely batshit crazy that I really should.
They sure seem like it, yes.
Oh. A puzzle game by the name of Gris, which apparently a lot of critics are raving about, came out this month as well. Oh, and Vermintide came out on the PS4, but it's a co-op game. I don't play co-op with people on PS4. That'd be a waste of money. But yeah, so that's what happened throughout the year.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate also
Oh,
happened.
yes, of course. Why can I not? Why? How could I forget? You know, the biggest Nintendo fighting game since Super Smash Bros. Brawl. No, 4.
Super Smash Bros. No subtitle.
Yeah, you know. And then there was some video game movies. There was Rampage and Tomb Raider. Rampage was okay. Tomb Raider wasn't.
Shame.
Yeah, very, very shame. So overall, I would say it's not the worst year of gaming. It's not the best.
It was a busy year.
Yeah,
A lot of things happened.
yeah, a lot of stuff. Not always great, but I say not the worst year. So we'll look forward to seeing what happens in 2019. We'll wait to see, like EA shut a studio on New Year's Day or something like that, and we
You
will
really
be
think
there
they'll wait till
to.
New Year's?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, Merry Christmas! You don't have any jobs anymore. Yeah, but when the news comes in 2019, we'll be there to snarkily talk about it because that's what we do
Yeah.
generally.
Making inappropriate jokes at terribly unfunny subjects.
Yeah, yeah. We've got a thing for that now. It's a reputation. But yeah. As we're over an hour, and it's Christmas Day, and we need to get to turkey and Christmas pudding.
And by Christmas Day, we mean 2 days before Christmas.
Yes, exactly. We're not sat there recording a podcast while people are sat there, arms folded, going, "Look, are you going to get to your dinner yet?"
It's like you
The roast
said you were going to be Santa this year. Could you get us presents, please?
Yeah. Can we like unwrap them now? You said you were going to do it in the morning. It's been 6 hours since. Well, that's your fault for getting up early. Anyway, yeah, we are going to wrap this up for this week. And like I say, please do follow, like, share, subscribe, bell thing, follow on the Twitter, the Facebook, and everywhere else. Um, cheers, Duncan, for being here this week.
No problem.
And with that, we will say, please don't kill each other.
Very
And
important during the holidays.
Yeah, definitely. Even more so than normal, I implore you, don't kill each other. It's 2 weeks. Enjoy the family time. Go back to the antisocial stuff afterwards. Make sure you're all good. And we will kind of not see you next week, but we will. As we look at, as we try and get a bit of time with ourselves and discuss what we thought was the best things we did last year, this year. You'll know.
For the previous year.
Yeah.
That's still accurate.
Cheers, Duncan. That works. Appreciate that one. Right, so fare thee well, everyone, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.